Hey, what's up guys? Chris Jr. here for Kriscoart. Welcome to this very special tutorial. It's special to me because I'm going to be giving you an overview and how to use the assets from my brand new pack, Vintage Light Effects. Now, if you guys are not interested in buying the pack and you're watching this on my channel, or I don't know how else you've stumbled upon this video, no worries, because I think the techniques in this video are going to help you out a lot with any overlay. So without further ado, let's jump into it and let's see how we can add some flares, add some elements, make your shots really stand out, add some color contrast, all through just overlaying these light effects. And we're also going to show how to stack multiple effects to get a unique looking flare or a unique looking look. And we're also going to color correct them to match the highlights and the colors and the tones in our shot. So very exciting stuff. We are starting off with this shot of this match. So I'm going to bring up Finder and I'm going to start dragging in elements from my Vintage Light Effects pack. So this is just a corner fire flare, which looks really cool. And this is from the VFX Elements folder in the pack. So these are flares that are more specifically catered to enhancing or even supporting different types of visual effects. So I'm just going to drag this into my project, and then from there I'm going to bring it out into my timeline, and then with it selected I'm just going to go under its effects controls and I'm going to set it to screen. And this essentially gets rid of the black background and it allows the flare to just stand out over our footage. Now, if I bring up Finder again, I can just add as many elements as I want and I can stack them inside of Premiere so that I can combine different looks and different flares together. And this gives me just pretty much unlimited combinations from all the assets that I have. And if you guys are using whatever other assets, of course, you can do the same thing, and that really unlocks a lot of possibilities in using elements and just stacking them together to make them really feel like your own. Now, another thing that's worth mentioning, as you can see here, the fire from the fuse burning in this shot doesn't really match with the orangey tones of the flare elements that we just added. So this is very simple. All we have to do is go under the color workspace. And this is essentially like Lumetri color effect, but it has its own panel. It's better looking, has its own UI, and it's just more pleasing to work with, and it's a lot easier. So all we have to do really is push this tint parameter more towards the purple. So we're getting rid of some of the greens that creates that warmth, that orangey warmth, and we're pushing it more towards a more red and harsh color. So that matches more with the fuse. Of course, we can always do the opposite and match the footage to the flare, but it makes more sense to match the flare to the footage since that's what you will be doing in most cases. And then, of course, you can repeat those steps for the other flare elements. Now, another thing that we can do if we want to add some camera movement is to nest all these elements together. So it's going to create its own sequence, its own nested sequence. And now in our main sequence, what we can do is we can just grab that nested sequence and we can add keyframes to, let's say, the scale and the position of it, so that we can add maybe a slight zoom in just to blend all these elements together and unify them under one camera move. So these specific flares that you're seeing out of the Vintage Light Effects pack, this whole folder was made essentially to enhance visual effects. So if there's an explosion going off, or there's like fire, or all these different type of things, these are like nice glass and lens elements that you can add on top of your effects that can really just kind of amalgamate everything together and can be really effective for realism, since you're having all these lens imperfections and these ways that the light is reacting to something that is in your composition. So that's very cool. Of course, we can add a transition flare to all of this just to make it seem like a match was struck onto the fuse or something like that. And of course, there's plenty of transition flares and a bunch of other elements that I think you guys will find a lot of use of in this new Vintage Light Effects pack. Guys, I'm really excited for this. If you purchased it already, and you're watching this to figure out how it works, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much. And if you're thinking about it, it's very cheap. The HD version is $20 and the 4K version is $35. So very, very affordable. And honestly, this is my first paid anything on this channel, and I hope you guys have been enjoying all the free content, and this is just a way to make things sustainable for me. So if you've appreciated the content thus far and you're interested genuinely in this product, then by all means support the channel and get it. And thank you so much for that, and thank you for all the support that you guys have been giving me. All right, That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found this useful for the pack and for just adding overlays in general. My name is Chris Trini, and I will see you in the next one.